Hi, this is Hart, and this is my stack of ATC cards I'm going to go through. So this first lady, I use the word appreciate because her name is Marie Stopes, and she's a scientist. And if you've never seen her face before, or you don't know who she is, you probably should, because she is a birth control pioneer, and she was born in 1880 and passed away in 1958. So we should all appreciate her and thank her, and that's where that goes. And I do have a little note to whoever gets the card what the name of the individual is. The second lady I have, her name is Nellie Bly. Many of us had to learn about her in school. And her real name is Elizabeth Cochran, and she's a journalist. She was born in 1867 and passed away in 1922. The next lady I have, this hat is absolutely fabulous. Oh my gosh. I gave her the word attitude, and her name is Fanny Bullock Workman. She was an adventurer and an author, and she was born in 1859 and 1925, and passed away in 1925, but something about her says that she was a wicked pistol. So the next person, ambition is the right word for her, because her name is Ethel Payne, Payne, and she was a journalist, but she was actually known as the first lady of the black press. And so she got her start in journalism in 1951. And she actually got into an argument with Eisenhower so persistently that one of the arguments that the two of them, or I shouldn't say argument, one of the back and forths between the two of them actually made it into the news themselves. So, you know, she's also another little pistol, but ambition certainly fit her character. For some reason, I've had to do like 3 takes on Toni Frizzell, and I think it's a bit of an omen because she was a photographer. And the way you spell her name is Frissell, and believe captures the character of her work, and she's photographed everything as serious as war and as fashiony and fancy as Vogue. So if you ever want to go look up a fabulous female photographer, Toni Frizzell, T-O-N-I Frizzell, is an excellent person to start with. Born in 1907, passed away in 1988. The next one, I use the word concentrate, and you kind of have to concentrate when you look at the word concentrate. I don't know, I'm silly like that. And she has such a serious look on her face that I just got playful with her hair. Her name is Beatrice Webb, and she was an economist and a reformer, and she definitely is one of the best known figures in the British reformist politics. But I'm not going to give you a big old history lesson, but this particular person, she kind of looks a little bratty in this picture. Look at that look on her face. If my daughter was giving me that look, I'd probably give her a look. Although when I give a dirty look, the kids tell me it looks like I'm falling asleep. But anyway, this is Beatrice, B-E-A-T-R-I-C-E, Webb. I should just zoom in on my words here and stop spelling it for you guys. I think that's what I'll do now. So this lady, her name is Ella Baker. And this is how you spell Ella Baker. Is that coming out okay? And so I wrote a little bit of a story on her because she is a powerful woman. And the word I gave for her is empower. And so she served as the director of branches for the NAACP and is the first executive director of the Southern Christian Leadership. So she helped organize voter registration projects. She formed the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party in '64. Long story short, it doesn't matter which party line you're on. When someone cares about politics, it matters. When someone takes the extra effort to get people out to vote, it matters. And it's this particular person spent much of her life focusing on others. And so she's an excellent lady for the Power Pack, hence empower. And again, Ella Baker. Action. So Action is a good word for Mary Harris. Mother Jones is what it was referred to. And so she was a labor agitator. And agitator is a great word for this when you read the background for her. But you could probably look her up as Mary Harris Jones or Mother Jones. And this is one that is worthy of you reading the details on her and all the stuff that she was doing for full-time labor, as a full-time labor organizer. So her quote, which I think is fabulous, is, hold on, I gotta find it, make sure I say it right. My address is like my shoes. It travels with me. I abide where there is a fight against wrong. I love that. That's just fabulous. So anyway, she could be family. That just makes me so happy. The next person, again, I got a little flippy with the hair on this one. And I even did, this is my only religious quote that I put on here, but I love those who love me and those who seek me, find me. It's just, that one suited so much for her. She was an astronomer. So let me just let you read that for a second and marry that up with her career as an astronomer. Now, I can't help it. I have to tell you why it's so fabulous that she was an astronomer and what she did. And so where I got these ladies, and this is the opportunity for me to share with you what she actually looks like versus my crazy that I did to her. But these cards right here are from Women Who Dare knowledge cards. And these are from the Library of Congress, or published by copyright for whatever, Library of Congress. But check this out. Each one of these cards give me a history of the lady. And these cards are fabulous. I mean, look at some of these images, and that's what I meant about how amazing she looks. Look at that natural hat for her, right? Tell me that isn't just a banging hat. Love that hat. Just keep wanting to go back to her. And so these are the ladies that I've already gone through and what they look like, and they're black and white images that I had. And then they give me a bit of the history, and I won't read all that history to you, but if you do want that history for whoever your card is that you receive, let me know, and I'll give you the verbal history of it. This one, I have to give you a little bit of the history of, because, what did I do with her card? Dagnabbit, there it is. Okay, so she wasn't just a stargazer, astronomer, but she had one of the most significant achievements in the 20th century. During her career, she gathered many different awards and first-time achievements. She was the very first person to systematically catalog the heavens. She was the first woman to receive an honorary doctorate from the Oxford University and the very first woman to be awarded the Draper Gold Medal in the National Academy of Sciences. So I don't know if you guys know this, but that is a very male-dominated body, and they still never elected her into membership. So that's how male-dominated it is. And so for her to even get a gold medal there is pretty amazing. So she definitely deserves to be in this power pack for achieving so much and cataloging so much. I mean, it's just impossible to capture how many stars she did. They said it was over 500,000 stars that she developed a stellar classification system for, and it actually became Harvard's standard. All right, too much information on her, but bam, that's why she gets a religious quote as well, because yeah, she should be the top page of the power pack in my humble opinion. Not because it's astronomy, not because she's a stargazer, but because she broke so many molds people are forcing themselves to stay in. The next bunch I'm going to go through rather quickly and just give you their name. So this one is Frances Harper, and this is how you, if you can even read my writing there, I blurred it a little. So she was an abolitionist, she was a feminist, and she was a poet, born in 1825 and passed away in 1911. The next lady is Annie Laurie. Her real name is Winifred Black. And she was a journalist, born in 1863, passed away in 1936. This one I kept simple, and the only thing I did is I made up an imaginary necklace for her, and I blinged out her hat a little bit. I didn't really mess with her too much because she just looked so perfect on the page to me. It's probably one of my simplest cards, too. Okay, the next lady. Oh, like I even had to look at the name. That's Calamity Jane. So confidence is the right word for her. She was a frontierswoman, for those of you who've never looked her up. And her real name is actually, I don't know if you know Calamity Jane's real name, but here's a trivia for you. It's Martha Jane Canary. Isn't that funny? Canary. Like you send the canaries into the coal mines to make sure blah, 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 and then she's a frontierswoman, and okay, maybe I'm the only one that finds it funny, but she was born, they're not really sure exactly, but about 1852 and passed away in 1903. And next person, I really enjoyed coloring her in. I mean, oh, you don't really see it in the camera, but essentially, she has some lips and some blush that I popped in there and some crazy hair, and I gave her the word strength. Her name is Christabel Pankhurst, and let me spell that for you here. But Christabel, come on, focus for me, Pankhurst, H-U-R-S-T. She was a suffragist and a reformer, and she was born in 1880, passed away in 1958. The next person, I don't even have to look up this person's name. And I know I'm not going to spell it. I'm not going to say it properly because they say it so much cooler than I do. But Corazon Aquino. She's the president. Was the president of the Philippines. She was born in 1933 and she passed away in 2009. And so courage is the right word for her. And I don't know how many years or what years she was actually the president of the Philippines, but I should check with my husband. I do know that at one point he actually met the president of the Philippines while he was living there. The next person, oops, I flipped her over. The next person, I gave her the word focus. I tinkered with her hair a little bit. It is a messy card, and she just looks so mad in this picture. Look at that picture. I gotta do that all zoomed up. Do you see that? And now, this is not so much a line on her face as it is my background is just too thick, and it gave her a line that looks like aged face. It's really almost aged face right there, but not as bad as how the picture looks. Just see. Okay, any case. And now you see why I messed with her hair a little bit. That's how I turned her hair, and that's how it was in the pic. Okay, her name is Marie Curie, and she was a physicist. And this is how you spell her name. She was born in 1867 and passed away in 1934. But the reason she is so powerful, and I had to write this on the back because I was so impressed, is she was the discoverer of radium, polonium, and the nature of radioactive materials. So I think that's pretty freaking awesome. And people still use her work to this day. Okay, this is one, and I'm sorry for my language, this is one badass woman. So I had to put the word courage. And you can't really see her even in the picture that I have of her. But look at that face. Come on, zoom in, give me a good look on that face. And she looks like she is kicking some butt. And in the picture itself, there is a body laying upside down, so don't miss that. I mean, this is a crazy picture. Well, here's why. She's actually a revolutionary heroine. Was born in 1754 and passed away in 1832, and her name is Molly Pitcher. So her real name is Mary Hayes Macaulay, but man, crazy powerful. Courage for this lady. Be out there on the front lines. Okay. And what happened, and I'm going to give you a bit of history just because I can't not do it. So what happened is on June 28th, 1778, the day of the Battle of Monmouth, she was on the field with her husband, and throughout that entire afternoon, she would bring water to the exhausted soldiers, and then she earned the nickname Molly Pitcher because she was always bringing water. Well, when her husband collapsed from the heat, she took over his cannon, and so she served in his stead. For the remainder of the entire battle, she replaced her husband by taking over the cannon. And so in 1822, the General Assembly of Pennsylvania passed an act for the relief of Molly McCauley in honor of her services. So, any case, long story short, badass woman. Okay, no more cussing, I hope. This is Martha Graham, and I have no idea why this is the only face that I colored crazy. I just felt like I had to. She really doesn't look that crazy in the picture. I'll show you her. Oh, wrong person. What is her name? Helena Blavatsky. Okay, so here it is. She really doesn't look that crazy in the picture. But for some reason, my brain just wouldn't stop, and I did color pencil on the face. And this is the only one where I didn't just do a funky little highlight. And I didn't even make it look normal. I just was all over with the yellows and the oranges and the pinks, and I feel like I've done her a disservice, but yet when I look at it, it still looks okay to me. So for whoever gets this one, I apologize for not making her more powerful, but maybe it'll help you understand her a little bit. And by the way, oh, I won't even go there. She's a spiritual leader. She was an author. Her name, like I said, was Helena Blavatsky, and she was born in 1831 to 1891. So whoever gets this card, feel free to send me a note or look up her name, because there's just something spooky about how this came out for me. Next one. Look how beautiful she is. And by the way, this is chopped off, so it doesn't really, it made her proportions look odd. But I gave her the word energy. And the reason she got the word energy is because she was a dancer and a choreographer. She was born in 1893 and passed away in 1991, and her name is Martha Graham. She really doesn't have white hair. It's just, I added that because I liked the way it gave the highlights and the little strips of hair. But yeah, love her. And something about her reminds me of Tracy's face from It's Nana's Place. Is that just me? Not sure what it is. Like, if Tracy was giving me a look like, are you freaking kidding me? That's what that look looks like to me. Anyway. This one? This one is Mary Cassatt. And when I first saw it, I thought it was Queen Elizabeth, but no. So I gave her the word creative because she was an artist. And she is the only American painter, the only, like, not only female, only American painter that actually won acceptance into that elite circle of French Impressionists. And so if you've never looked at her paintings, she has amazing paintings, and so that's why I gave her a little bit of flair in that hat. And by the way, she really did have a hat with some serious flair, but gave her some bling along that too. And also chose a card that had a background that I felt suited with all the crazy colors and supportive background, but not too crazy on the collage. So any case, amazing artist that we have in her. The next one is the word opportunity. And she was a writer, and I don't know exactly, this is what they call it, salon air. I'm going to screw up that word, but she had a 4-volume book and some other autobiographical works. And the name of her 4-volume biography was called Intimate Memories. And her name, Mabel Dodge Lewin. Okay, I'm sorry about this. Somebody's gonna get mad at me for this too, so whoever gets this one, shoot, you don't even look dry yet. Yeah, I guess you're dry. Oh, maybe. I had to. There is something about her that made me be a little goofy. And the next one, I did her twice because this one was so goofy. So, this is Learn, and this is Ambition. Either way, it's the same lady. I don't know really what I was going for in the mask. I was just looking for something crazy in the mask, and then I messed up the scale on the left-hand side because my pen was a little bit too chubby. And her name's Virginia Apgar. She was a physician, and she is the pioneer in anesthesiology. And so when you go and you have a surgery, you don't realize how much risk you have, or maybe you do, every time you are under the care of the anesthesiologist. And so they're just as important as whoever the surgeon is that's doing whatever they need to do for you. And so, yeah, this is the lady behind the mask. Maybe that's why I think of it that way. But for her to pioneer that or to champion that area, it's pretty amazing. And she made some amazing excuse me. She made some amazing contributions in obstetrics. So, long story short, not only was she amazing as a physician, but she also was an outdoors woman. She was a music enthusiast. She even built her own stringed instruments, and she was a rather versatile individual. But she's part of the reason our hospitals focus differently on the responsibilities in the hospital for the newborn's care. Okay, so I'm making this video way too long. I need to scurry it up a bit, and I am just gonna knock through these ones very quickly. Let me move this aside so it can go faster. So I gave her the word Liberty, and that's because her name, I don't even want to say it. Vigdis Finnbogadóttir. Anyway, President of Iceland. She deserves honors here. Kind of gave her 1980s sunglasses style. Didn't mess with her too much, but wow. Fabulous lady for the power pack. Next one, gave her the word adventure. And doesn't she look like you just want to go hang out with her for an afternoon and chit chat? Her name is Margaret Anderson. She was an editor and an adventurer, so would love to hear her stories. Next one, gave her the word hope, like an angelic thing behind her head. Don't know what I was thinking there. But she was a writer, an editor, and an activist, and her name is Lillian Smith. Next person, gave her knowledge, and I did her twice. I did one a little bit wild, and one rather simple. Gave her knowledge and miracles, and that's because as a physician, she did provide quite a few miracles. So Maria Montessori, a physician and an educator, 1870 to 1952. And this is somehow just one of my favorites. I'm not even altogether certain why. I just like how it came out. Next one is Focus. I really didn't mess with her much because her face alone, you can't, I just loved her. She's a lady that you would probably never want to be on the other side of the mat of. She has that look. Maybe it's just the pursed lips. And so, any case, her name is Dickie Chappelle, and she was a photojournalist and war correspondent, 1918 to 1965, not very long. that. Next person, you know, I couldn't help messing with this because of her pose. I just want to do this piece as a piece of art, but I'm not going to dawdle on her too long. But her name is Maud Gonne, Gonne. She was a feminist and an Irish, I can't speak. Her name is Maud Gonne, Gonne, and she was a feminist, an Irish patriot, and an actor. 1865 to 1853. Yeah, just human. Now, this lady gets the word spunk, and she deserves the word spunk. Her name is Elizabeth Gurley Flynn, and she was a labor activist. You can tell I have a few political folks in here, and part of why I did the political folks in here was because, you know, it's not so easy for some of them to have been such extreme activists back in the day, and that's how they made their way into this stack. The next one, I gave her the word dream, and her name is Jessica Redmond, M-O-N, Redmond Fawcett, F-A-U-S-E-T, and she was a literary editor for the NAACP, and literary editor for the NAACP Crisis Magazine from 1919 to 1926. Isn't she beautiful? Next person, boy, isn't she cute. I mean, this just makes me, I can't even put my words on it. I messied up her hair a bit and gave her a feisty bandana, messy lipstick. So this is kind of like the other person that I messed with her too much, but I loved her character, and her character just kept popping out for me. And so I gave her the word harmony, and her name is Ma Rainey. Her real name is Gertrude Pridgett Rainey, and she was a blues pioneer. But, oh, gosh. Blues pioneer. Shoot, I've probably listened to her and didn't even know who I was listening to. Fabulous, that is. Last one, obviously not least. I have, and I can let you look at one. I like this one better. This one, I wanted to give her a funky hat, if you can see what I did with the hat there, but it ended up looking like one of those newspaper caps that you fold with a newspaper. Otherwise, I like how the pic came out. So her name is Annie Smith Peck, and she was a mountaineer. She wasn't just a mountaineer. She did much more than that as well, but I'll be really quick about her. Essentially, her legs, you can see, they are pants. It was quite the uproar back in the day because of her outfit. So when you look at her outfit, I kind of accentuated the outfit on this one. When you look at her outfit and her pants, and the fact that it wasn't a skirt, that was a big deal, that she went mountaineering in something that wasn't a skirt. And so, thank you very much for watching all of my ATC Power Pack cards, and I'm looking forward to sharing all of these with whoever gets them. And when we do the trade, I'll do another video to let you know the ones I receive. Everyone, take care.